Right, guys, here we go. Currently loading into what to what might be our last series of tonight. I am Elmo, currently sitting virtually next to me. We of course still have Ben, aka Ruben.
Hello.
So
Would you like me to introduce the first player?
of course, go ahead.
Why, thank you, how kind. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the map, we've just seen him win a TVZ series 2-0. He is representing Alliance, the Red Zerg, sort of.
And in the opposing corner, it is going to be the Blue Zerg. Currently playing for Team Fnatic. It is Zanster.
It certainly is. So, unfortunately, I think this is going to be our final series tonight because we've got two of our finalists decided. Mana's one of them. I can't remember off the top of my head who the other one is. Blink has just started his final. So this is the match to decide. That's correct. It's Titan, the other qualifier we saw earlier. So this is the fourth and final qualifying final, shall we call it, for this evening.
Let's call it final, because it's actually kind of a final for qualifying spot, even though it's round of 8. Let's call it final. Makes things sound way more epic.
It does. So ZVZ here. We've got a 14 pool coming down from SortOf. We've got a different build. It looks like we're going to have a hatch
first. It is hatch first, indeed, yeah. Ensta already opening up a little bit greedier than his opponent, who is going for the quick pool with a quick gas. So he's probably going to try to get a quick speed upgrade. Of course, that can come in handy if you are playing a Ling heavy style, especially early on. If you can outspeed your opponent, if he has no speeding upgrade, you actually have a very big advantage. So Zanster has to be very careful, because defending that expansion will not be easy.
Zanster's only just dropped his pool now, so the spawning pool for SortOf is finished before Zanster has really got underway. SortOf has now dropped his second hatchery. He's mining gas, presumably to get that first 100 up, so he can get metabolic boost out. We're now seeing the same out of Zanster. So, although one's pool first and one's hatch first, nothing to suggest any kind of crazy deviation from the standard styles.
Absolutely, and also SortOf is going to pull his workers out of gas after he saturated those initial 100 gas. So no further attack coming from him here just for the next couple of minutes. Let's see what Zanster is planning on doing. He is already up to 50, so that takes quite some more time here until he gets to that 100. Has already his hatchery done though, and is also constructing the first queen. What is that? He births the first queen. It's birthing. That's interesting. It says birthing. It says that's what it says, at least. Anyways, he apparently is going to stick his workers in. We might see a quick banding nest out of him.
That would certainly make sense. I mean, when you go hatch first, you can find yourself behind to early Ling aggression, and a really good way to force that back is to have a couple of Banelings ready to surprise the Lings oncoming. A couple of good Ling hits, Baneling hits, even if unscouted, can do really well.
Alright, we just saw a lot of Lings in production here for SortOf, so he might be gearing up for an aggression. And take a look at that, he's hiding most of them in his main base, so that is a very interesting decision. So he's probably going to surprise his opponent here. Speed also just finished, so he's now gonna go for it. Eventually, of course, Zanster will see that with that overload, but there's nothing too much SortOf can do about that. We'll also now get his bending nest on his way. Of course, Zanster immediately throwing down 20 of his own Zerglings. Question is, will it be enough though?
So many Zerglings streaming in. I mean, the Baneling nest has just finished.
Oh, look at that beautiful positioning of the queen there.
That's fantastic. That queen doing loads of massive damage to the Lings. There's so many Lings here, though. I think Zanster might just have enough to hold this off. Although the Lings do now run into the main, and they're going to have a little run by the pressure, surrounding the queen. Brilliant play
look
there.
At that control of Zanster there. Perfectly. Wow, perfectly dealing with those Lings there. Barely taking any losses. Will eventually now lose one drone. But that's about it. Lost 2 drones in that process and now gonna go for the counter attack. Of course, we see already 2 banings morphing here for SortOf, but he definitely has to get very
they're
nice
gonna
hits
morph
if he
just
wants
in
to
time,
defend
aren't they?
that.
Here they come! Oh, that's one big hit. Oh,
He has to be careful.
Just in time, just in time. But streaming across the map is going to be... No, there's not going to be reinforcement. Just four more reinforcements for SortOf. Back in we come. Oh, and there's going to be a big... The banelings are going after one another. More banelings morphing in. Big detonations. Now one baneling is going to make it towards the drones.
Oh, that's already 3 drones dead. That is already a nice little win there for Zanster, who is now almost 10 workers ahead. Which is definitely already a very nice economic lead here. And look at the energy of his queens. He's barely losing any injects here, so he has a lot of production capabilities. And with all those drones, he also has a lot of money to spend that. So he's currently playing a very good CVZ here.
Alright, looks like we're going to meet in the middle of the map once more, or are we going to pass like ships in the night? No, Zanster's going to pull his lings back and he's going to morph a bunch of banelings. He is going to have to force off some aggression here from SortOf, who's going to push in now. He's got one more baneling, one other on the way, a whole bunch of lings going to join, but we've got a couple of banelings moving out here from Zanster. It's action-packed, Elmo.
Ooh, trading there. I think it was 5 banelings for 1, 5 zerglings for 1 baneling. That's already a very nice trade with Zanster, who is now once again going to connect onto those banelings already. Very nice there for him, and the Spinecrawler can now pick them apart here one by one. Already once again a very nice trade here for Zanster, who is now picking getting a small supply lead here, currently 59 to 52.
He certainly is, and Zanster's now going to run out with some zerglings. They want to be careful. There's a baneling
nice
there.
split. Beautiful split here by Zanster.
About to morph right next to all his banelings. Oh, that's not a great trade. 3 banelings, but not very many zerglings. The blue zerglings making their way across the map now. They will meet resistance from SortOf. They will try to map zergling and baneling versus zergling and baneling. Here, Elmo, which way is this one going to go? It's just too close to call at the moment.
Absolutely, it is still a very close game, even though I think Zanster is just ever so slightly ahead here. But of course that can change with one big baneling hit here in just a matter of, not even seconds, a matter of split seconds. Once again, banelings coming forward. That's a lot of banelings for Zanster here. They're going to cruise down that ramp, trying to get a good connection. I think that was a good one. It's going to take out a lot of
banelings though, Elmo, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, although he's now got a huge number of links. He needs to make sure he doesn't lose them all to one careless baneling hit. In fact, he's going to bypass those banelings for now, is he?
Oh, very nice control there. Once again, 3 more banelings just about to hatch here, but they will not get good connections. We'll get 3 though. Another small battle here going on in the middle, but the battle is slowly but steadily creeping towards SortOf's main base here, and that is definitely not good.
It certainly is, but the longer each player goes, they just keep morphing more and more banelings, both playing very well defensively with their banelings, both staying on point with their macro. So really at the moment it's just an acid-strewn middle of Acheron Waste here with no real pushing away.
Absolutely, but so far not really too much tech switches going on for SortOf, whereas we see a Spire by Zanster here, and if he can get that through, careful there. He will be in a very nice position, barely avoids or just ever so slightly avoids those banelings, but take a look at all those banelings that are now going to cruise towards Zanster's main base here.
He will, but Zanster is absolutely trying to save as many minerals as he can. With that Spire, he wants to get at a good number of units.
Beautiful hits there for Zanster. Once again, the Spinecrawler eventually might go down here.
No. So once again, fairly expensive move. The Spinecrawler has gone down, but now Zanster will push back to SortOf's banelings. He's going to try and prevent them from morphing as he knows. He's going to skip around. He's maybe going to take 1 or 2 of them out. The banelings are going to see to that. Trading very well, and of course this is all a front for him to get those Mutalisk out, which are going to change the course of this battle, one would imagine.
Absolutely, the thing right now is Zanster SortOf has no clue of what is going on, but there we go. A lot of links streaming towards Zanster's Central here. Will eventually take out the baneling nest. There we go, there's the mules, but they will take quite some time to actually take out all those zerglings, and that will give SortOf enough time to actually react to them. They will first of all focus on those banelings. Queen once again, very nice micro there by Zanster, surrounds them with workers, and will eventually clean up those zerglings. They're very nice hold once again, and now the mutalists are going to push across the map here.
Oh, and they're going to catch so many overlords out of position here, Elmo. We could see a big supply block for SortOf here, which would be hugely problematic when he really needs to make a tech switch to counter these Mutalisk. He's stuck with what he's got. He's now supply blocked.
We have 5 spores on the way here for sort of, so he should be safe to those Muralisks in terms of his mineral lines, I'd suppose. So they cannot make something happen here. I think they were just not surprising enough here for a Zanster to actually be effective here. Because those spore crawlers with their additional damage versus biological units, they just tear those Muralisks apart.
They certainly do, unfortunately, because of the investment it took for Zanster to build those Mutalisk. He was forced to then subsequently use them defensively, which kind of gave the game away and meant that the sports could go up. Once again, the Zerglings are in the mineral line. Banelings doing their best. Ooh, and potentially Baneling. He misses with the Baneling. That's a whiff. And now the advantage has to stand with Zanster here.
Anyways, third base now going down here for Zanster. He's trying to get his economy even further ahead now. 53 to 38 workers, 77, 87 to 64 supply here. That is already very, very nice. But look at that, we see a Nidus network going down here in the main of SortOf. Can change the game here quite drastically. What? That's not even a word. So if he can surprise Zanster with that, that could definitely change the game here. Let's see if it works out, or if it even goes undetected here for SortOf.
I'm not sure it can, because Zanster's got really good coverage of his overlords. There's no overlords up by anywhere the Nidus can go out. The Nidus is a puzzling choice for me.
Ah, indeed, yeah. That is a very, very...
Yeah, the Mutalisk for Zanster are flying around the edge of the map, trying to find everything. The Nidus comes down in the middle of the map. I don't see what this does. It's gonna
he will spot it. Oh my. That is so good for Zanster right now. There goes the Nidus Swarm. Plan failed for SortOf here. That didn't work out as planned to basically any stretch of the imagination here. Now Zanster is going to push across the map here, trying to make some damage here, and still his opponent is still on 2 bases, whereas he is already starting to saturate his 3rd base, already getting the Queen there to start injecting and getting even more lava to be able to produce more units. But look at all those Queens of SortOf.
He's bringing down another Nidus now, but just to take stock of the situation, Zanster's ahead 3 bases to 2, he's ahead on upgrades. Oh, and here we go, we've got a big engagement of Roach versus Roach here. There's a Baneling in there to help. So many Queens. And SortOf knows that his time has passed and he leaves the game. Zanster takes the first one. Congratulations.
Absolutely, that looked very, very convincing there. Zanster taking the first game of this deciding best of 3 to who will actually advance into the group stage of Fragbite Masters here. And just one quick